Governor Rick Scott unveiled his state spending plan today, calling it Florida's first ever jobs budget. Scott pledged to set an example for the nation by shrinking government, returning tax dollars to the people, and creating new and higher paying jobs. Our Brenna McLaughlin was in Eustis today and reports on why Scott made such a big announcement in such a small Central Florida town.
It's a budget that's designed to reduce state spending, lower taxes, and hold your government accountable. This is the budget you asked for.
The you in this case is the Tea Party that Rick Scott credits with his election victory. The tax cuts promised in his first budget proposal will widen an already huge budget deficit, but this audience has no doubt the governor can do it.
Critics have said you can't cut taxes now.
Scott's plan would require cutting Medicaid expenses by nearly $2 billion in the first year, cutting the Department of Corrections budget by nearly half, and forcing all state employees to contribute 5% of their income to their own retirement funds.
We're excited.
Tampa Tea Party leader Sharon Calvert believes Rick Scott is one of them.
And he mentioned no more federal dollars. I mean, we wrote out the stimulus.
Does that mean no rail?
Well, we are hoping so. Our position is, as you well know, is we are against the high-speed rail.
Though the Tea Party-sponsored event was open to the public, not everyone felt welcome.
I felt like I had a bullseye on my back because of the shirt I'm wearing.
Local Democrats thought such an important announcement should not have been delivered through just one political faction, a faction so focused on tax cuts.
Is he thinking about the firemen and the policemen and all the other people, county and state services that are going to get cut in pay?
But the Tea Party faithful here believe the important thing is to help business, even if it hurts those who rely on state services.
Well, I'm sure it will, but we have to make the cut somewhere. We have to do it. We can't continue going down the road that we've been going.
In the business world, Rick Scott could propose a budget and make it so. But as governor, nothing gets done without the approval of the legislature. He's going to have to hammer that out in March, but today shows he's going to have a lot of help from the Tea Party. In Eustis, Florida, Brendan McLaughlin, ABC Action News.
The governor's proposed budget cuts had some lawmakers scratching their heads. They want to cut the budget without raising taxes. But as our Don Gramez reports in depth tonight, they have very different ideas on how to do it.
We can't spend more than we take in.
That statement by the governor was a given since the Florida legislature must, by law, pass a balanced budget. But the cuts proposed by the governor have some experts raising warning flags. County Commissioner Victor Christ is a former state senator and is well-versed on criminal justice and courts. The governor proposed cutting more than $700 million from those budgets.
A budget like this would prevent career criminals from being able to get the time behind bars they need to reform.
They'll be back out on the street, career criminals.
Yes, we'll go back to the revolving door syndrome.
How many? Four.
Classrooms may also be facing cuts. Scott's budget calls for $3.3 billion in cuts to education and eliminating 1,800 jobs from the Department of Children and Families. But there's almost no chance the governor's recommendations will be accepted in whole by the legislature.
That's just a guidepost for the legislature. The legislature has to pass the budget, and so they'll obviously pay attention to what the governor's priorities are, but at the end of the day, the budget will be the budget that's passed by the legislators.
Governor Scott ran on a platform of being an outsider. He wanted nothing to do with Tallahassee politics. But now, to pass his budget, he will have to go to those very insiders he was fighting against and say, hey guys, let's get to work. In Tampa, Don Gramez, ABC Action News.